Good morning, it's Joe again with True Warrior Ascension. I learned something today that I wanted to share with you. If you can get out of bed, then you can start that journey towards the success that you want to see in life. I know you're thinking I'm crazy right now, but hold on. Let me know if this story sounds familiar. You're laying in bed, you're having a phenomenal dream, and then out of nowhere, boom! That alarm goes off, you wake up quickly and think, I'm going to chase my memories today. But then, your bed feels a little bit more comfortable than it usually does. Your pillow even whispers, please, don't leave me. And who's going to disappoint their pillow? So you lay back down, hit that snooze button, and fall back asleep. It's probably happened, and that cycle probably continues a couple times, right? But what's the hardest part of getting out of bed? It's just that first step. And it may drag after you take it, but at least you're headed in the right direction. So sometimes you're overwhelmed, you have a lot going on, sometimes you're tired from yesterday, and sometimes we're just comfortable exactly where we are. And those will all prevent us from getting out of bed. But if we think about it, it's the same for the things that we want in life. Now, when I wanted to start my own business, and even this YouTube channel, they seemed like huge tasks, or even climbing Mount Everest. The 3 building blocks I'm going to share with you showed me that these things are really not that difficult. You just have to break them down. So what's the first thing you do when you wake up? You don't even realize it anymore, but the first thing you do is you become aware of where you are, right? So that first building block is awareness. You want to be aware not only of the product that you're trying to, or industry you're trying to get into, but also the process to get from point A to point B. Once you break those two things down, the task at hand becomes a lot less daunting, and also can help set you up for building block number 2. So after you realize where you are, you then decide where you're going to go. Whether you're going to the bathroom or maybe even the kitchen to make some breakfast. You develop a game plan. Building block number 2, a game plan. Much different than just a regular plan. Any great coach, he decides, okay, what's the opposition? What are the obstacles I'm going to face? And then he creates contingencies for all of these factors. A great game plan has many different directions and many different webs. Most of the information, or really all of the information that you're going to have to develop this game plan, comes from building block number 1, that awareness. So make sure that that is very, very detailed, so you can create what you think is going to be a wonderful game plan. Now understand, it should be very thorough, but it's never going to be perfect. You're never going to count and come up with some master perfect plan that accounts for everything you're going to come up against. But hopefully it's adaptive. So you have this amazing awareness, you have this great game plan, obviously, which is essential. And what's next? The third building block, and maybe even the most important, is taking that first step. It's execution. I'm telling you right now, you will never get out of bed if you don't take that first step. It's not going to happen. So you have to execute. What this means is you take the awareness that you've learned, you take that game plan, and you start to implement it. You put it into place. Now, once you start to execute, you'll realize that that process, these 3 building blocks, are going to continuously cycle. Why? Because once you start to execute, you'll become more aware of the industry and the process. And then you'll also, your game plan will change based on that new awareness. Right? So for some of us, getting out of bed, easy. You wake up about 4 or 5 minutes before your alarm goes off, and the alarm hits, and boom, out of bed, I'm doing, wonderful. For some of us, it takes a little bit more time, a little bit more effort. And I learned this when I was trying to wake up at 4:30 in the morning. It was about 2 hours earlier than I was typically used to, and I was the guy from the story. Alarm would go off, boom, snooze. Alarm would go off, snooze. 6:30 rolled around, and I still wasn't up. So I had to change something. Right? I had to, what it was for me is I had to move my alarm clock from my nightstand to across the room. That way, when it went off, I had to act. I want you to allow me to be that alarm clock after this video, whatever stage you're in, whether it be awareness, the game plan, or even right before the execution. I want you to make progress. That's what we're here to do. Progress through the building blocks. Understand that the better and more you prepare for each one, the better you'll be at the end. And that cycle will continue and continue on. Wake up. Get out of bed. You've heard it. If you snooze, you lose. Don't let it be you. Take care. I can't wait to see it. Let me know all about your success. Get out of bed. See you soon.
Nothing can stop me. I'm all the way up.